How y'all doing today? I go by the name of Comedian 817. I'm right here from Fort Worth, Texas, from the north side. Shout out to Mr. Gary and his wife, to all the people out here, to all the artists that's out here, and all the people that's coming out to their community, because the communities are suffering because, like they said earlier, we don't know each other. So we got to continue to get to know each other and help where we can. But for y'all that don't know, I'm an ex-gang member, survivor of a drive-by shooting, and I thank God that I'm here to speak to y'all today. But I'm also a military Army vet. Put your hands together for the vets out here. To my Muslim brothers, assalamu alaikum to them, to all the food trucks and different things. I started comedy about a year ago, but I've been cracking jokes all my life. But I figured I'd use my personal experiences to use on the stage. So a lot of times you might see somebody, y'all heard of the term PTSD? Y'all heard the term PTSD? Yeah. We know it as post-traumatic syndrome disorder. But for me, a lot of times you might see somebody from the military just talking to themselves for no reason at all. Get off me! What are you doing? But I call it punch the stupid down for the ignorant people out there. But one thing I noticed, I asked myself when Gary called me, how do you really stop the violence when we got a world of violent things going on all over the country? We was raised in violent households when our mama used to tell us to go clean our room up, and we didn't clean it, they got the belt out and started beating on us. My mama used to beat me all the time with a extension cord, raised car track, all kinds of things. And one time I showed up, back in the 80s, I showed up in school with all kinds of stripes on me from the water hose. And the lady was like, oh, that's so cute. You look just like Tony the Tiger. And that was, back then you could do that. And I used to say, my mama called the police. You call the police, I'm gonna go to jail and come back home and give you this 2-piece and a biscuit all over again. So how many of y'all had those parents that whooped y'all growing up? See, white people don't do that. They like to put these kids in the corner and say, Billy, don't do that. Stop doing that. And one time I was around some white people, and the lady wouldn't discipline her child. And the boy said, shut up, mama. And he bucked up to her. And my mama looked at me. She said, I wish a Negro would. So don't you even get any ideas of thinking I won't put hands on you. And she went over to that lady and said, you better start whooping on your child before I whoop the both of y'all. My mama this short. And I used to say, man, my mama ain't finna do nothing. She's just too short. But I thought of David and Goliath. You know, he knocked the giant down. My mom was just like that. And she used to fight everybody. I'm like, man, my mom thinks she can whoop everybody until I start seeing her start fights with bigger people. And they would come out the house, my mom would say something. I said, oh, mama could get whooped, and she would hit him with that left hand. I thought that was Larry Holmes' mama, because she would knock out everybody. So I seen her in 3 fights. I said, man, then she got jumped by 3 people. She was whooping all of them, and she started going to her purse. And she had all kinds of weapons in there, knives, shanks, and everything. I said, Medea needs to give her credit for all that stuff that she started. But I was thinking to myself, we live in a violent world. How can we really stop the violence when the world is violent? I'm from the north side. You go over there to the north side. I'll call myself the only black mariachi, because they get up there getting ready to sing. They got their sombreros, they got their guitars playing, and they get ready to sing the Las Mañanitas. And I would go stand next to them. Estas son las mañanitas que cantan la vida, pero no tan bonitas como. I was singing, I was getting happy. All of a sudden, I looked to my left, and this is how they do it. Well, they was mad. They said, God, they got upset at me because I was trying to help them out. You go over to the north side, the Mexicans are violent. Then you come over here to Hollywood. You trying to have a peaceful rally. People shoot over here. Even the animals. When we say stop the violence, we are talking to the animals too. I'm talking to the birds out here right now, because These birds on the south side are violent. I was looking on Fox 4, and a lot of these people, okay, first answer this question. Who makes the animals attack us? I heard somebody say, white people. You keep on poking with wildlife, they gonna poke back. So I kept looking on there, and the lady come out, I don't know what's going on. This falcon eagle keeps attacking me. Because you keep going out there messing with their babies. I was up at Petco recently, and this lady, I was pretending I didn't see her. I was sitting in my truck, and she walked by this tree, and all of a sudden you hear, and this bird, she was like this. She was screaming and everything, and she looked around, and I was on my phone, but it was hilarious. Y'all keep messing with wildlife. So repeat after me when I say this. Things in the wild are not smiling at you. Say it again. Things in the wild are not smiling at you. The reason I say this because we got people that want to go and kiss things in the mouth. And you see all the teeth showing, it's not smiling at you. And they want to walk up and say, hey buddy, how you doing? And they acted like the crocodile hunter. And rest in peace, but he didn't get killed by a crocodile, but he went and messed with the animals. Things in the wild are not smiling at you. So they always want to get on TV and act like they're the modern day reporter or something. The croc, first of all, is over there in the corner, minding his own business like this. Minding his own business. Somebody saying, hey, I think I'm going to go kiss this thing. And they walking over slowly, and they got a little commentary going on. As I'm walking over, this gator, this crocodile is minding his own business, and I'm going to kiss this thing right in the mouth, and I'm going to feel it. So they're walking over there to this crocodile, minding his own business, and they forget, for y'all that don't know, crocodiles have sensors on their face. And the crocodile, first of all, they no longer have to chase down people because they get free food from somebody stupid. That's why I said PTSD, punch the stupid down, because somebody stupid gonna walk over every time. So they don't really have to chase anything because somebody white gonna walk over and want to kiss it and lean down. And as I lean it down, I kiss this thing. They're smiling at me. And once you touch it or drop a sweat, all of a sudden, things in the wild are not smiling at you. Look at the person next to you. Say this. I'm saying this in my stern Negro voice that things in the wild are not smiling at you. You want to continue. And I used to say, we used to be scared, us as black people, we used to be scared of everything. You know, a gunshot, or we jumping of everything. But we started hanging around the Caucasian culture. We start hanging around them, and we start wanting to go snorkeling. And I just came off a cruise for 4 months, and somebody was like, hey, let's go snorkeling. And then some black people say, hey, I've been wanting to do that. And I looked over there at them, I said, you out of your rabbit mind to want to go snorkeling. And they went down there, and they said it was a shark down there showing his teeth. It is not smiling at you. So the person wanted to go and do his commentary under the water, and the shark dang near bit that lady in half. Things in the wild are not smiling at you. I want you to repeat it out to me. Talk to my people, young lady. Repeat after me. Things in the wild.
Things in the wild
are not smiling at you.
are not smiling at you.
Somebody today is not going to listen to this Negro commentary, and you're going to walk up to something, and you're going to want to kiss it and want to approach it. Like Gary. He's going to be out there and walking, because people are still looking for Bigfoot. Excuse me, the white lady right there. Bigfoot is not real. And the ones that's looking for it, if you do see Bigfoot, he is not real. If it is real, they haven't lived to tell the story. And you want to walk out there in the woods like Gary. You want to walk out there? Who that? and he gonna swipe left on the kill out and knock your head clean off your shoulders. Things in the wild are not smiling at you. But if Gary come up missing, they're gonna say, well, where's Gary at? He's feeding the community like usual, because he done knocked his head off. We need to stop approaching things that's not smiling at you. So, how many of y'all like 80s and 90s R&B? Raise your hand. That is some of, not knocking the 60s and 70s, but the 80s and 90s era, because I know y'all see me, y'all say, he look like a Negro Power Ranger up here. But I love the 90s because the 90s had some of the best, 80s and 90s have some of the best music you can understand. I know y'all understand that, compared to the auto-tune today. So back in those days, and I'm gonna compare what's going on then and what's going on now. Back in the days, y'all know when this song come on, they would catch everybody. Long ago, and all so far away, I fell in love with you before the second show. And see, you get that type of response. But now, if I walk up to this young lady right here, singing that, they were moving. But now, the singers of today, they're not going to understand what you're saying because you're... Y'all know that auto-tune? The only auto-tune that I respect is Roger Troutman and T-Pain or Little Jodeci. Now, this next person, I got to share this story that happened in Dallas. Back in the days, who was the king of R&B, first of all? Okay, there you go, okay, y'all know. I was at an R. Kelly concert in Dallas back in the 90s, and it was over 1,000 women in there and about 10 guys. And all of a sudden, R. Kelly come out, he had this stage set up, and you hear the music come on. I hear you calling, here I come, baby, to save you. Oh, oh, hey, don't wait till you go by. Baby, no more stalling, these lips have been longing to touch you, baby. Do your hand like that. Now that you have come around to seeing it my way, you won't forget it, baby, and you surely won't regret it. It's unbelievable how your body's calling for me. I can just hear you calling, calling. Then he would stop, all of a sudden make up something out of nowhere. He said, all the ladies in the room come down by the stage. He would say something crazy like that, and a domino effect started. You would start seeing women just empty the rolls, just like dominoes. And when it came over to us, it was this black dude that looked like old boy off of life that said, you gonna eat your cornbread. He was sitting right next to me, and the lady she was getting ready to go down there. All the ladies was gone, but it was just two of us, three guys and one lady. And she went up smiling, looking over. And he looked over at her, he said, you better sit your rabbit behind down. R. Kelly is not getting ready to take you home. And I felt bad for her, because in the 90s, we really didn't have a vehicle. So he made her sit down. But that's the difference between the music now and the music back then. That's why a lot of us angry. But even though with the angry world with stopping the violence, we got people that's in the airport that's going crazy. You got people that's saying this is for Allah, and they open their jacket. You got people blowing up with C4 all in their jacket. So everybody is going crazy. Everybody is approaching animals. Everybody is shooting. Everybody is doing all kinds of crazy stuff. Mama's still violent. They're the reason we got ADD, ADHD, all kinds of things, brain damage. They was the first violent people. So how do we stop being violent when our mom's still beating on us? Let me understand that. I wish an animal would walk up to my mom and see what it would be on the grill.
Sure will.
Too.
I'll be fine.
Like I said, things in the wild are not smiling at you. Got more time? Okay, like I said, things in the wild are not smiling at you. Now, well, now I'm gonna share a story about violence. If y'all kids, do anybody here work for the Fort Worth ISD or Dallas ISD or in the school district anywhere? Okay, y'all kids are crazy. People are celebrating these kids beating up on people. But I used to work for the school district for over 14 years, and I was in a situation where I was a bus driver, and I would either substitute drive or I was in the special needs. And they would always send me to the crazy kids on the bus. And one day, this lady was in front of me on the bus, and she said on the over the monitor, somebody hit me in the head with a pencil. And me, they said, pull over. I pulled over right next to them, and I was getting ready to get out. I said, no, let me keep going. The very next day, they said, Mr. Harris, we need you to go out on bus 267. These kids throwing pills and stuff. I said, you gonna send me? I'm from the hood. I'm probably a Negro. I might slam. I don't care. So I got on that bus the next day, and I said, if anybody throw a pencil at me or throw something at me, Fox 4 gonna be out here. So they respected that. But the thing about it, they sent me on a special needs bus one day. And I'm gonna use these names that's false to protect the innocent. So we're gonna say this guy named Leroy. I see this kid coming out of his house. He was about 7 foot tall with the harness on. And I said, this is not gonna go good. Because I already talked to the lady that was on the bus. She said, this boy hit me in the head last week with an apple full speed. So he come on the bus, all calm, and I snapped him in. And I said, how you doing, Leroy? He just shook his head. He was nonverbal. So everything was good. We was getting ready. We was riding until we pulled up to the school. And all of a sudden, this girl walked by. And this boy had, I don't know if y'all remember the movie with Freddy Krueger, Nightmare on Elm Street. This boy had long arms. And she went to walk by him, and he punched her with a rabbit punch, and I had to hold him down. And I said, everybody get off the bus. Everybody running. The kids running and stuff. And I hold him down. And I said, Leroy, calm down. He's snapping at me, just trying to bite me and stuff. I said, calm down, Leroy. Calm down. And then all of a sudden, he bit my arm. And I said, in the name of Jesus. And he like, he was just snapping. I said, well, dang, God. I'm like, have you ever called on God and it feel like he can help you because he's too busy laughing at the situation? Because you might have said he take too long and stuff. I felt like that. So I said, name of Jesus. He didn't respond. I said, assalamu alaikum. And then he didn't respond. Now bring your Negro something. Will some God help me out on this? But Leroy kept on snapping, kept on biting and different things. And I was just wrestling with him. And he just reaching up trying to grab me. And all of a sudden I said, get security. This little short midget Negro come on the bus. And I said, I need security. He walked up. He said, oh no, this is Leroy. I said, come back here. I need your help. He go running to get some other security. No security wanted to control this boy until this mama got him on here. All of a sudden, Leroy, you need to get off this bus. And all of a sudden, she said, you don't have to worry, he ain't gonna do nothing. And we unsnapped him, and he walked right off the bus. And I'm like, even though he had showing teeth, things in the wild are not smiling at me either. Thank y'all, that's my time.